how to deal with overwhelming and intense emotions, how to get a better relationship with these underlying fears and insecurities. The first step with it is to know that we have no control over it and we don't need it, because there's nothing to cling on to feeling a different way and there's nothing to get rid of. This dichotomy and polarity of having negative and positive and emotional states and trying to change our emotional state by will, it doesn't work like that. There's no way to will yourself to being not anxious, to will yourself into feeling not depressed. There are ways in which you can give in to these emotional states of experience that can worsen them, but it's not through willful force that you're able to pull yourself in or out of different directions. With an intense anxiety experience or depression, there are underlying things going on that is causing it to become locked in place so that a person isn't easily able to come out of it. And the part that makes a lot of people uncomfortable but is true is that even when you start applying the right practices and applying them into any kind of inner conflict or experience we're having, it isn't an immediate fix. There is no immediate getting rid of any of this. So the goal becomes how to change our relationship with it so that we are no longer pulled around by it and we no longer mind whether it's there or not. When I had a really severe anxiety disorder before, which caused a lot of depression, depersonalization, and other issues, it wasn't a matter of forcing myself to get over it. It wasn't the way I came over it was changing the relationship I had with it, where it became something that I didn't need to push any feelings or thoughts away, and I didn't need to grasp into feeling any different way. The problem is that we have a lot of ways in which we try to resist whatever's going on for our current experience, and that resistance, that inner resistance, causes the conflict and the suffering, because we are giving something for these emotional and psychological experiences to rub up against and create friction. This friction causes inner conflict and inner suffering because we are in a state of war with our own thoughts and minds. Being able to step out of that means giving ourselves the space and allowance to experiencing everything fully and feeling everything fully, to embrace it fully, to not try to push anything away. Don't try to cling to feeling any different way. There is no timeline of I can accept this for 5, 10, 15 minutes, an hour, a day, and then I just want it to go away. There is a way we try to rationalize acceptance in measurements of time. It doesn't work like that. You have to completely, fundamentally change your attitude and relationship with yourself, with your psychology, with your emotionality, to a state of utter and complete surrender and acceptance. It doesn't mean surrender to give up and to lay down and just let the world beat you down, or to let your depression and anxiety lead you to a state of suicide or never leaving your room. It means getting to that space where there is this relationship of love and connection and embracing of these difficult experiences and emotions. Because by being able to show it that love and tenderness, that embracing, that holding space, we are saying it's okay to feel the way we're feeling, and we don't need anything to go away. Suffering is a great experience for any human being to go through because it allows you to deepen yourself. It gives you the opportunity to grow and to evolve as a human being. It is a gift that can either make you go more unconscious and more deeply ingrained in our own suffering, or we have the opportunity to work with something and heal, to become more clear, undivided in ourselves, and more free than we could ever possibly imagine. So we don't want to run away from this experience, and we don't want to think of it as a negative, bad thing where we have a victim mentality about why this happened to me, why me, why do I have to have this experience? It's okay. It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong. We don't need to push anything away, and we don't need to wish it weren't the case. It is what it is, but it's what we do with it that makes a difference. So having an acceptance and allowance of it, we just carry on with our lives. And whatever these experiences are that are coming on with us, that are in our present experience, we just let them be there. Whatever's going on for us in our present experience, we allow it to be as it is. And we have to give ourselves the space and time to heal, because there are some things that can go on for somebody, for these experiences to come up and try to grab our attention. Luckily, there are ways which we aren't properly taking care of ourselves, whether that be psychologically, whether that be our emotional health, whether that be our spiritual health. If we're doing things in our life that we're miserable doing, that we're not happy, we're around toxic people, we're in an environment that isn't safe or comfortable, you really have to look at your life fully and make the proper lifestyle changes to help your own inner emotional and mental well-being, so that you can reassess what is trying to call your attention. I find that mindfulness and meditation helps because it creates more space and distance from the content of which we are having this inner conflict with. And that helps because it gives us more space to navigate and deal with the content of what's going on for us without feeling so personalized from whatever that might be, because there is nothing personal about it. There's nothing ultimately real or true about it to define you as a human being. So we just allow ourselves to feel everything fully, and we give everything its own space to be as it is. Because when we are in that state of being, things will come and go in and out of our experience with less resistance, and it will stay for less time because there's nothing rubbing up against it to hold it in place or to create a pattern and cycle. And that's really all it takes, is just feeling everything fully, embracing it, holding it close, an acceptance, a love, a care. And you have to mean it. You have to mean it. Because if you don't mean it and it's not sincere, it's not going to make a difference. So find more sincerity in yourself. Be kind to yourself. And embrace yourself fully.